Hello and welcome along to this new video. In this video I just want to talk to you today about a film I watched the other night and I was blown away by it. It is 1975's Barry Lyndon. Now I've had this on Blu-ray for a long time and I've put it off mainly for the fact is it's a period drama in the 18th century which doesn't really appeal to me. The only other period drama I've got is a comedy by Woody Allen called Love and Death. That's funny enough, that's from 1975 as well, which I love that film. Now this one here, it's 3 hours 5 minutes long. It doesn't really have anything in it when I look at it to think, apart from being a Stanley Kubrick film, that it had anything that would appeal to me. I was wrong. So I put it on the other night after hearing nothing but good things about it. Obviously I knew that there's certain technical things in here which are revolutionary that were done at that time. As you would imagine with Stanley Kubrick, he wasn't anybody who did anything by halves. So I kind of thought this film might look alright, but would it be enough to captivate me for 3 hours 5 minutes? I would have been sitting there yawning thinking, well, when is this going to end? I might have appreciated it to look at and thought, well, for me, I'll just put it in the thing and I'll just not watch it again, but at least I've seen it. But again, I was wrong. So I put this film, so what's this film about? It basically follows a young Irish fella called Redmond Barry, and it's about his life from growing up in the farm. I'm not going to give any spoilers away for this film because it does have a really good story, which I didn't think it would have any of a story, if I'm honest. It tells a story about this fella, and when he comes out of Ireland and he goes looking for his it's about his life and what he sort of scrapes he gets into and how he gets himself involved in a sort of very well-to-do family, and he becomes the lord of this manor, and he changes his name to Barry Lyndon because he marries this woman who's the Earl, it's the Duchess whatever, and her husband used to be called, well, her ex-husband, her husband was died, was called Lyndon, so he took over his name and he wants to get a peerage and all that, but I'll not go too much into that. But it tells you his life, and it's got us misfortunes and whatever along the way. But the film itself looks utterly breathtaking. Now I knew it was going to look good, but basically what you would imagine, if you look through, if you went to an art gallery, which I'm a big fan of, me and my wife, when we go down to London, we always go to the art galleries, and you look at all these old pictures of people who are, old famous works where they're standing and looking at an area or doing this. Most of his scenes are a little bit like that. It's like watching an 18th century painting, and it's framed, well, obviously Stanley Kubrick must pay that much attention to what he does. The framing of the film is going to be exceptional, as it is in all of his films. You can see certain trademark things, especially interiors. You can get all that symmetry that he likes, when he puts the people in the shot, and it just looks absolutely brilliant. And also as well, he had to get everyone knows about the lenses in the camera. He had to get some lenses sent over from NASA, I believe, to be able to capture the film in natural light. He didn't lose any lights at all, because obviously in 1800 there was no lights didn't exist, so everything had to be done by candlelight or natural light, excuse me. So you can imagine how hard that would have been. So they had to get these revolutionary new lenses for the cameras to be able to shoot this film. Now you would think that because that happened, I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be a really dark film, really murky film. Well, I was wrong again there, because it's got so much depth to the picture, and so it just looks amazing on Blu-ray. I would love to think this is going to be treated to the 4K treatment, because it would look that much better as well. Everything about it is just a visual treat, and so you've got that. You've got the fact that you look at it, it's so good to look at. You've got an engaging story it does take 20-30 minutes to get into it, but once you're into it and you go and follow his life and his adventures on where he's going to go, the dueling scenes are fantastic. The actors in here, you see a lot of actors, which especially Leonard Rossiter, who I didn't really think would be any good in it, because obviously I remember him as Rigsby, and I thought, would he be any good in this film? But he plays this slightly comedic character who's amazing. Ryan O'Neal as well, which I thought, well, will he be able to pull off this person when he does? Everyone in it is amazing. Basically, that's the short answer to that one. And so yes, so this disc here is just a bare bones disc, and I think the one you can get it. Can you get it in the UK? Yes, you can get it on the premium collection by HMV. I didn't get it on that because I've got it on this. I'm just holding out for 4K. This will do me till the 4K comes. I think the Criterion version is better than this one. I don't know if the Criterion has any extras on. I would imagine it does. So the soundtrack to this movie is another one of those big selling points for me. It's got some classical music in there. It's got some Irish sort of jig music as well, which is pretty good. But the classical music is just so good, especially the way it plays over the duels. It like takes it down a little bit, and it's got maybe like a heartbeat sort of thing to it. It's basically it takes this song, which he does a little bit on 2001: A Space Odyssey. He takes a bit classical music and he puts the images to it, which he does in this film, and it just works to a treat. The original, the opening theme tune is brilliant. I'm not too sure who does it, but it's one of the best classical music things you can hear, and it works really well in this film. So really, the film, it kind of, you know, when you get these period dramas and you think, well, that's great, but it looks a little bit like it was shot yesterday. This, if you were ever going to shoot a film in the 1800s with a good camera, you could imagine it looking like this. The attention to detail in the scenes and the sets and the people and the way they talk is so good that it's one of the, I mean, I don't imagine many period dramas to be this good, and I don't imagine me to become a big fan of period dramas after this film. But the fact that this film is really, it takes you into a place like it does with every Stanley Kubrick film. They're all a little bit different. You know, you've got a horror film with The Shining. You've got a Vietnam film with Full Metal Jacket. You've got an Eyes Wide Shut, which is more like a sort of occult, although I haven't seen it. And you've got some like Dr. Strangelove, which is a bit like a comedy. To a certain extent, a satirical comedy. And then you've got the likes of Lolita, which was a bit of a problematic book that was when it was released, but he's tackled it in a very good way, and the film is a lot. I didn't want to watch that film for a long time because of the subject matter, but when I watched it and I realised that how he treated it, and the people behind the acting is just absolutely amazing. So yes, so for me, when you go into a Stanley Kubrick film, you always get something out of it. Now, this was the one I thought I would get nothing out of, but I was wrong. It's so watchable and so good. If you've got 3 hours to put to one side, or watch it in two halves, because there is an intermission in the centre, the middle of the film. I urge anybody who hasn't seen this film to just be. It's what you call, it's like a work of art. As a cinematic experience. It's a work of art to watch this, to put this film on and be transported into this world of Barry Lyndon. And that's it for me. It's just an amazing film that needs to be watched. Now, I didn't want to watch it that much before this. When I watched it then, I thought, I can't wait to watch it again. And to me, the mark of a good film is when you've watched it and then you're thinking about it for days afterwards, and then you think, I've got to watch that again to get another go through it. It's just, that shows you that film has hit every mark for you. So I can't recommend it highly enough. This film came between A Clockwork Orange and The Shining. Funny enough, Stanley Kubrick never was one for making films quickly. This film here came in the middle, I think, of when he wanted to do a film about Napoleon, and I think that fell through. I think he had everything written about it, it didn't work, so I think he might have done Barry Lyndon in a way, because I think he might have started to get some of the costumes together and all that, and I think he went and done this book separately, but he screen wrote it as well, so he's got a lot of input into it. It's not just him doing a film because he wanted to make a film. This is a lot of thought put into this film, as you will see when you watch it. So for me, Barry Lyndon, 1975, Stanley Kubrick, highly recommended. So thanks for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.